Hi, today I was going to walk through how I am going to cold stratify temperate Drosera seeds. I'm going to use the paper towel method. That's the method I prefer because I think the seeds are so small that you can actually see them on paper towel. If you try to do this in moss, I think sometimes you can lose where the seeds actually are, or at least I will. The downside is that mold can sometimes develop. I have not had a bad issue with this though. Sometimes mold does develop, but the seeds don't seem affected. I guess I don't leave it in super long either though. But I'll show you what I do. All right, so I just have a small lunch bag. I think you could use a larger size as well. I then cut a bit of paper towel. And that's really all you need materials wise than just the seeds. So I'm gonna get the paper towel wet. So just make sure it's, not sopping wet, but definitely wet, not just, not just damp. So yeah, this is kind of wet. I then have a plant label. I'm just gonna get the plant label kind of wet. Pull this toward the center here. Get this kind of wet, and then this way I can pick up the seeds. So I'm gonna pick up just a couple this time. I'm gonna save a lot of these for spring, but if you can see this, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm actually placing the seeds now. They're just really tiny, like there are for a lot of these species. So I'll probably get maybe 10 or so. That kind of seems like plenty to me. And then I just have to hope that I see them. Because they're so tiny when I come to get them. But what I'm doing is I have this wet cloth, right? And the wet plant label here. And if you go to touch the seed itself, the plant label will just pick it up, which is nice. Let me just adjust the camera so this is more centered. So yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of these. I tend to keep these in a dark area in the refrigerator as well. That might help suppress the mold a little bit. It's not scientific, that's just kind of my theory. So almost done here. Okay, and then one more. I'm not even sure if I got one that time. Yes, I did. Okay, so hopefully I'm able to see these, right? So next what I'll do, I guess I'll put it right in the bag. Zoom out. All right, so I'll put it right in the bag. And I just try to, not crush anything too badly. I don't leave a whole lot of air in here, but I've read that you should leave a little bit. So I'm just gonna leave kind of that much. I just don't squeeze any out necessarily. So, okay. So there we have it. There's not a ton of air in here, but there's a little bit. I didn't fold this over. I just have this kind of open like this. And then what I'll do is I'll put this in a drawer in the fridge, kind of in a dark spot, like under, mine is like under where my eggs usually are, right? So it's kind of blocked from the light that's even inside the fridge. I then will, I have a bit of a plant label. I'm gonna put the date on here so I remember the 4-week period when it started. So I'll just put the date. I will put that in the bag too. I'm gonna show you. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I've had pretty good success with this. A little bit of mold. I think if you don't leave it in for many weeks, you're fine. And then this way with these smaller seeds, you're able to see the seed easily, pick it up and transplant it to where, or let it germinate where you actually want it to be, rather than sort of throwing all the media in. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this is helpful. Thanks.